Sup guys, this is an in-depth guide on how to get the Lore Scrolls in Quake Champions. I personally have pretty much all of them. I'm really only missing 10, which means that every time I pick one up that's essentially a new skin for me. But yeah, during that journey of picking up all the scrolls, I've learned some locations and some tips and tricks that I'd like to share with everyone else. And in this clip you can just see me actually catching a scroll, taking advantage of the quick spawn I had and just going up to the platform and getting it. So I'm going to go through every map for deathmatch and team deathmatch and how to get them. They're typically the same thing in duel, although I know that there are some extra maps like Blood Run and Corrupted Keep that I personally haven't really played, so I can't tell you about those. And also the sacrifice versions of the map, they have some more pots to break. But yeah, so basically here I'm going to run through Blood Covenant and break all the pots. And so the ones that spawn down here in the dungeons where I'm going, those are pretty common. So it's important to watch out for those spawns. And in the staircase here, there are some pots that a lot of people don't know about. They're sitting here and they actually also spawn pretty often in those. Up here you got 3 of them. And you can shoot these from a distance, although if there are people on the platform it's not really recommendable because they might just pick them up. These bookshelves a lot of people don't know about either. If you break these bookshelves, a little lore scroll might pop out. And I kind of learned about that by accident when someone shot me in that location, and I went and picked it up later. But yeah, that was really all for Blood Covenant, except for these 2 down here. Yeah. And moving on to Ruins of Sarnath, or however it's called. This one's really easy because there are very few parts in the entire map. You get them up here, extremely common, and then you also have a couple down here. And that's actually pretty much all there is to find on these ruins. So whichever spawn you get, just run to that one. The Burial Chambers one is really fun because there are a lot of pots and they're really well spread out. So it's really hit and miss whether you're gonna get these pots. Because someone might just spawn in front of it, break it, and then the scroll's theirs and there's nothing you can really do. But you can probably run through this map in about a minute's time and get them all. You got some on this balcony, but you don't actually have to go up there. You can just shoot them from a distance, see if there's something in them, and then you can go pick it up later. You got some by the railgun here, although those aren't very common. And you got these default parts down here that everyone breaks in the beginning of any match, really. So those are really contested. But the ones that I find have the scroll a lot are not these ones, but they're going to be the next ones down in the underground. They're going to be down here. These ones are very common. It often spawns here, or it might spawn up here. I think these are the 2 most popular locations in my mind. Moving on to Lockbox, not the most popular map, but you might get to play it once in a while. This one has like a ton of small pots just everywhere and hidden in corners and stuff, so it's kind of hard to remember exactly where they all are, but I'm pretty confident I got just about all of them in. Got 2 by the teleporter. You got some down here which people often forget about, so important to get those with you. And down here in the mid you got a few that are important to notice on the sides, one on each side, and then one, you know, on the side of the staircase. And that's really all for Lockbox. And now moving on to Church of Azathoth, I suppose it's called. This one's a bit difficult. I mean, it has fairly few parts. You got some in the mid here, just scattered out outside of the mega health, and also you got some by the rocket launcher, which are pretty important because I feel like for me it often spawns by the rocket launcher, or it spawns here in the middle in the corners. Now, the thing about Church of Azathoth is that I've had some experiences where I've loaded up the map and played it and ran around for like 3 minutes just trying to find more pots than the ones I've just broken now. And I haven't been able to find the last one. And suddenly, you know, someone might get it like 7 minutes in. So I think there is one part or like one location, maybe kind of like the bookshelves, that I just don't know about. So if anyone can chime in the comments about that one, that'd be nice. And that counts for all maps if I've forgotten any of them. But yeah, now moving on to Tempest Shrine, which is the last map that I'm gonna be talking about. This one's a bit like Burial Chambers. You got a ton of pots everywhere, really spread out. You got some of these in the high ground. There's also gonna be one more on the other side. But those typically don't yield them. But these small pots right here, those are important because I feel like for me they spawn there like 50% of the time. Got one by this one. I actually forgot a pot there. I'm gonna go back to that later. And yeah. Just breaking these ones in the mid, those are also pretty common, everyone breaks those in the beginning. And you got these 2 down here by the ammo packs, people forget about those, but I've gotten a scroll from them a couple times. Got those by the ship, pretty normal, and now there's only missing one, and I'm gonna I'm gonna be going back to that because when I was recording it, I thought I had forgotten one of them, but I couldn't remember which one. So I'm gonna reach it in time. But yeah, a few more tips. Whenever you're starting and spawning in a deathmatch or team deathmatch or whatever, you want to have the machine gun equipped, because in that case you can just shoot them at a distance really easily. That especially counts for the balcony kill on burial chambers. That's the last part right there. And yeah, so you can shoot them from a distance. You can go pick them up later, so you don't actually have to step over them. You might get someone juggling you with a rocket and stealing it. That has happened to me sometimes. And in this clip, you can just see me, winning the game after having picked up the scroll, and then I go unlock the Doom guy. Another thing, basically, whenever you start a match, you want to have a very mobile hero. So someone like Anarchy or Nyx or Slash or something similar, so that you can go and pick it up really fast. And then afterwards you can change to whatever you want to play. For me, I really like Anarchy. So yeah, that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed and that you can use this for something. So good luck hunting.